Okay, folks. I don't know what is happening. Okay, so this is like the fifth time that I have tried to start my live at 5 today. My friend Judy follows me every day, and she and I are texting to try to figure out what is going on. So Judy, thank you so much for keeping on trying. I'm hoping that you will be able to find me again. So it is now live at 5:13. So I'm going to start my live at 5 now and see if I can make it all the way through. Ready? Here we go. Hi, everyone. It's Susan Axelrod here, confidence coach. But today I'm not feeling that confident in my tech. But do you know what? It's okay. I was just speaking with my good friend, Cornelia Stephanie. We were texting with each other. She's in the very, very similar space to mine. Basically, the thought leadership of self-empowerment, self-control, being in charge, soul connection, creating the life that you want to live, and especially for women, taking back your power, finding your voice and making it happen right now. Now is the time. I was just listening. There's my friend Judy. Okay, thank you. We're back. Thank you, Judy. I was just listening to Cornelia Stephanie's last radio show, and she started out by saying 2020 is a very special year. So if you've been following me, you know that I have been saying the same thing. 2020 is a very special year. It is the year of the woman. It is the year that we need to take control. So when someone like me, when I'm sitting here trying 5 times to get onto my regular live at 5, the same thing I do every single day, wondering in agony, knowing I'm late to my live, wondering what's happening here. Why am I having this difficulty? There must be some bigger thing going on in the universe or something that is trying to block and prevent me, creating barriers and obstacles to my daily success. I'm like, screw it. I am persevering. And that's because I'm a woman in the second half of my life, and we know that challenges and obstacles provide themselves for us to overcome and grow further. So that must have been what's happening today. So I was talking, Cornelia and I were texting today, and we were saying, you know, this is hard. It feels hard. It's tiring to be in this type of thought leadership, to really feel the responsibility of taking the mantle of the times and really being the ones to come here every day, even if I have to try to start 5 times in a day, and persevere to inspire and uplift and motivate others to really be in this space today. So what? So what if it's hard? That's what I have to say. And what Cornelia and I were saying to each other was, it may be hard, but it's wonderful as well. Because for so many years, it sounds like each of us were on a similar journey where we wanted the control. We wanted the creative direction. We wanted the opportunity and the ability to make all the choices, to make the decisions. And with the decision making comes what? The responsibility of figuring everything out. And when you're figuring everything out, when you're creating it in real time, quickly along the way, it does feel a little difficult. It does get a little tiring, but it's also energizing. And that's the exact thing that she just, that was the message that she just left for me. It's hard, but it's also energizing. And so, you know, every day I'm here, and you know that it's energizing for me as well. Now, listen, today I have an interesting topic that I want to speak to you about. This topic is especially suited for women, which of course is my thing, and especially so for women in the second half of life. Now, I have been following and learning from Jen Lederer. You've heard me mention her. She is an expert in business development, and she's an expert in marketing. And so I was watching a master class that she offered. I actually watched it 2 times through, an entire master class, because I'm serious about my craft. So when I have someone I can learn from, I'm serious about it. I come to my table with my pen and my pad, and I take notes. And there was something that she said totally in passing. It wasn't part of her teaching, but it really struck me as a great topic for us to talk about on my Live at 5. And that is this. She said she did something recently where she felt she bombed. She felt she bombed. Now, she said her husband and her best friend were in the audience, and she said, my best friend told me, you didn't bomb. It was great. And then she went on with her teaching business stuff, whatever she said. But I was struck by this thought. What if we made a commitment to see ourselves through the lens of our BFF? The friend who supports you no matter what, who loves you no matter what, who always tells you you look good no matter what, who tells you to keep trying and you're doing great and you got this. That BFF? I hope you have one woman friend in your life who is like this for you. I know that there are many people who feel very lonely and very alone, but I hope that if you think about this, it may be a sister or a cousin or a friend. It may be an old college roommate, or somebody you know in college, or even an old high school friend. Whoever that person is who wears the lens of rose-colored glasses around you. So I am so lucky and blessed. I do have a few people like this in my life, and I also wear my rose-colored glasses for them. Why wouldn't I? Let everybody else criticize, right? There's so much criticism and judgment in the world. I don't have to judge and criticize my best friends. No, I try as best as humanly possible, 100% of the time, to be like, let's do it. Let's go. Let's uplift. Let's just support and motivate and love. Of course, we can be honest. Of course, that's the best thing, to be honest about feelings and stuff like that. But generally, in my efforts, my BFFs are just like, go, Susan, go, Susan. Even when I see through my lens that something bombed. And that's what Jen said the other day. So I want to ask you about this idea. I'm loving this idea. Hi, Omar. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Thank you for finding me here. I'm so excited that you found me here. Okay, so today I'm talking about an important topic. I happen to make it in reference to women, but you have some great feminine leadership qualities in you, so this will resonate with you as well. That's feminine leadership in the good way, right? So, and that is, what if we saw ourselves through the lens that our BFFs see us? Right? Our BFFs, our good friends, our dear friends, those people who support us and do nothing but uplift us and tell you you got this and you're okay. And so what? Only one person registered for your thing. So what? One person registered, right? Instead of being like, all that time and effort you spent and only one person registered. Are you an idiot? That's my lens. That's my lens. That's the way I, heap on myself. But my best friends, my BFFs, say, good for you. You're doing great. And so I really do want to encourage you to really think about this idea. It's such an important idea. It's really very, very important, and it can serve you so well in your business as well. Now, we don't generally have BFFs in business, right? Business is not the same as personal, but it may apply in your business life. You may have either a supervisor or a colleague who really just has your back all the time, who supports you and who really, tells you got this, and always sees things through the positive for you. And I want to tell you, of course, that it's easy to know when you are experiencing that. It feels so much better, doesn't it? It feels so much better for people, to know that people are supporting you. But of course, you know what I'm going to say. If you follow me and you listen to me, you know what I'm going to say. And that is, the real power is when you can do this for someone else, when you can be that person, right? So that is something I always encourage you to do, but only with authenticity, not with superficiality, okay? Not with superficiality. You could only be in that role with authenticity and commitment to their best interest. Now, regarding this topic today, what about us having our own best interests in mind? Now, my friend Omar is a leader of a huge team. Omar, give me your numbers. How are you doing? I'm curious to know. It's been a while since I've heard from you. So Omar is the head of a very large team. And Omar, I want to know if you get where I'm coming from on this. What if you teach your team members this principle, the idea, give it a try. See yourself through the same lens that your BFF sees you through. What if we all did that? How much better would pretty much everything feel all the time? In my coaching work and in my online course, Discovering You Again, not only in my coaching work, it's me one-on-one hearing this and talking about it and coaching someone through it. But in my online course, where you have a bunch of people coming together, I can see people chatting and talking with each other about this topic. And the thing that I love most about my online course, I mean, the content is great and it's so great. But what I love the most is how the people who get in there begin supporting and uplifting each other in this way. So through the online course, the little bubble community that we create for those 8 weeks, there are other people seeing you through this lens. And when you experience that in a consistent way, I'm looking up because I'm trying to pull forth the words. They're coming out of me as I'm saying them. When you experience this in a consistent way, that then makes it easier for you to actually see yourself in that way. Okay? So when you experience this, now, what do we often experience? We often experience critiquing or criticism from others. Yeah, in our lives. Yeah, that's true, especially as children. You're being told this, you're being told that, you're being told the other thing, even though people think that they're helping you by telling you, you got to get better at this, do this differently, do this a different way. They're really sort of pressing you down into suppression. But when you're in a group like the one I create or other groups you may be in, then it's like up. People are supporting each other. They're encouraging each other. They're cheering each other on. They're uplifting each other. They're motivating each other. They're inspiring each other. And now you can see going up, up, up. And the beauty of this is that when you experience this, your soul rises. So really, this is something that comes up so often, self-negative thoughts. What do they call them? Like limiting beliefs, I think people call them. I call it self-hating sometimes, imposing your own negative beliefs on yourself, right? That's what we do. We heap ourselves with our own negative self-talk. That's what it's called, negative self-talk. And so that's what I'm talking about today. I'm trying to say, what if we offset the negative self-talk with a new lens, the lens of the way our BFF sees us? I think that I love this idea. I'm so smart sometimes. It's so cool. I just made this up. But that's not really true. Actually, this idea found me just by hearing Jen tell a story. She wasn't even talking about this. She just said the words in passing. This is what happens to me. This is where my good stuff comes from. So I would like to ask you to think about this idea. I would like to ask you to please think about this idea that I'm suggesting. What is it? What if you saw yourself through the same lens that your true BFF sees you? Now, recently I heard somebody talking about someone whom she called a friend, but it was all this weird negative stuff like comparing and negative feelings and all this weird stuff. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a friend to me. So I want to be clear, not the friend where you're competing, with the friend where you're just loving, where you just love on each other. And like I said, I really am hoping that you can think of a person like this in your life. And if you don't have a human like this, then it's your dog, right? So my idea is for you to view yourself, do an active exercise with intention and commitment, and think, actually think. You could write, you could do a writing exercise if you want. You could talk about this with other people. Omar, you can talk about this with your whole team. Because really, even as I said it, I could feel like, oh, that felt so good and open. And so I want to invite and encourage you to actually think about this idea. What if instead of you hearing this constant, continual barrage of negative stuff about yourself, the stuff that you say to yourself about yourself, what if you really reverse it? You put on a pair of rose-colored glasses, the kind that your BFF sees through when she sees you, and you see yourself in that way. I'm really going to do this. Ooh, Omar says yes. Good, Omar. I'd love for you to have this. This is a really good leadership tool. It's a great leadership tool because your people, if they're experiencing a lot of self-criticism, self-doubt, and self-negativity, as most people do, this will actually lift them up. And when you feel better, you're more productive. And that's what's been happening with me. I'm so tired from how much I've done in just the first 21 days of this year because I'm so loving everything I'm doing. Yeah, it's great when you're in that space. I'm not trying to claim, oh, everything is perfect. No, like today, it just happened. I had to try 5 times to do my Facebook Live. That's not perfection. That could be considered failure. But so what? I just kept trying. The last time I was like, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm not doing it today. And here I am. It worked. So I'm not saying, oh, I'm so great or everything in my life is so 100% great. No, I had an emotional breakdown yesterday before I started my brand new webinar series. Yeah, I did. So what? My sister, one of my BFFs, I called her. I asked for help. She's like, all right, let's do this thing. And she did. My daughter, who's been helping me with it, she texted me before I was supposed to do my webinar and she was like, you got this. So, so what? I had a little emotional meltdown. That happens sometimes. And that happens with all leaders, anybody who's in their authentic space, because there's no such thing as perfection. So, okay, that's it for today. Okay, my time is up. I want to say thank you, Judy. Thank you for helping me always and persevering and being here. Omar, it's great to see you over here. I'm so excited that you found me. Yay. Thank you so much. Omar, I would love, love, love to hear you report back to me. I don't know, maybe in a week or so, or I don't know when the next time you have a team meeting is, but if you like this idea, it's just a thinking tool. You could try it with your team and see if you can get some conversation going about it or whatever, and then you can let me know if it worked. Okay? All right, so that's it for today. Thank you for persisting with me. Thank you for staying with today. And I will see you tomorrow for Live at 5. Bye.